Bum-ba-da-dum. Howdy, welcome to BanjoBenClark.com or perhaps YouTube or Facebook or wherever you happen to be watching today. We're going to have a lot of fun on mandolin. I've got actually 3 solos for Worried Man Blues in the key of G. We're going to start with a very basic melody. Then I want to teach you how to throw some double stop harmony onto that basic melody to spice it up a little bit. And then we're going to get into more of a just jazzy, bluesy version that's got a lot of syncopated rhythms in it and becomes fun very fast. But don't worry, you can get it. No need to sing the blues about learning this one. I'll make it easy for you. If you are watching on YouTube, somewhere like that, then I'd be honored to have you on board on the site. If you're a Gold Pit member, you're watching there, then you have the tab for all 3 of these solos, as well as the gem tracks and all that stuff. Let's get started with the basic melody for Worried Man Blues. We're going to do this one in the key of G, and what I want to do first is just show you the very basic melody. I'll give you one tool to help beef that up a little bit. Then we're going to go straight into playing some double stops that's going to help beef it up even further. Let's take a look at the tab. As I mentioned, we are in the key of G. This song's very straightforward. It only has 3 chords in the rhythm. So we've got our G, we're going to have our C, we're going to have our D, and that's going to come more into play whenever we begin to create double stop harmonies here in just a bit. But we have 2 notes of count-in, or we might call it a pickup, happening on the 3rd beat there. Okay, and if you think about how the melody goes when you're singing the song, it takes a worried man. Well, that actually only comes in on the 4th beat. We're going to come in on the 3rd beat. Don't let that confuse you. It's just if you're playing it instrumentally, it sounds good sometimes to have a little longer walk in. So when we come in on the 3rd beat, it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And then if we look at what the basic melody really is, it sounds like this. It takes a worried man, sing a worried song. Well, obviously, in measures 1 through 6 there, you see more notes than what you're actually going to sing. And that's because I want to try to fill up the space a little bit. We're playing a solo for this. If you only played just the melody notes, it would sound great, but it would have lots and lots of blank space in it. So we're going to do kind of a fiddle technique here, what I call just a shuffle pattern. And that's where we play a series of quarter notes with downstrokes, and then we back them up with 1/8 notes that use the alternate strokes. And so what we're going to do almost entirely through this basic melody is play a shuffle stroke on the 2nd beat of each measure. You see that? 2nd beat of measures 3, 4, 5, and 6. You see those 1/8 notes there. So why don't you just try making that rhythm with me? Let's just take an open D string and just play the rhythm that we see there in measure 3. It sounds like this. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Again, 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. A little faster. Good. We're going to do that the entire way through the song. I think almost every measure. And we're even going to carry some of that technique over into the double stop version. Now all that we have to do is add some frets. Okay? And we're not doing anything difficult. We're not having to shift up. We're just going to cover our 2nd fret with our index finger. And we're going to cover the 5th fret with our ring finger. So that if I play slowly through this first line, it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. A little quicker. 1, 2, 3. In the next line, we are going to shift to a C chord, but again, that doesn't matter for us right now. That will come into play a little later. The only thing that changes here is that we're going to add some more notes that we're going to fret. We're going to add a 4th fret there in measure 7. We're going to do that with our middle finger, and we're going to play that 4th fret not only on that D string, but we're going to reach down and grab it on the lowest string in measure 10. So that line sounds like this. You'll notice in measure 9, you jump up quickly to grab that one string on the 2nd string, that one note on the 2nd string. We've got 5th frets all around that. The measure sounds like this. So if you want, you can leave that ring finger down because we're going to have to come right back to that 5th fret. However, you just have to make sure that you don't mute that A string because we need it to ring. So So some people might pick it up briefly just to get a clean eighth note. A little quicker, the whole line. 1, 2, ready, go. Now we have some repeating. So measures 11 through 14 are exactly the same as the first four measures that we played. Well, almost exactly the same. We have a few different notes at the very end. Then we're going to wrap it up. Very, very easy line. We do play 3 different strings on this line, starting measure 15, but nothing tough going on with our fret hand. And again, look, we're keeping that same rhythm. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Start out on that open A string. 1, 2, and 3, 4. A little quicker, that whole line. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, so we've walked all the way through this basic melody. What I'd like to do now is just play it all the way through. Remember that you can control the speed of this video playback. So, and you can also use the tab files here on the site. They do the same thing. But click on the little gear icon, whether you're watching Facebook or on the site or YouTube, and slow it down if you need me to, or you can even speed it up if you're really learning it well. Let's try it. We'll come in on beat 3 together. 1, 2, 3, 4. How'd you do? Well, no matter how you did, don't worry. You'll get better with practice. And if you're ready to move on a step above that one, I want to take that same basic melody. I want to take a lot of the same rhythms, and I want to add some harmony notes. We want to make it a little bit more complex, and that's what we'll do in the next video segment. So if you're watching here on the website, just click on the next video segment and download the tab for that segment. If you're watching somewhere else like YouTube, if you love this, make sure and subscribe. Click the little bell. You'll get notified whenever I do videos just like this. Or I'd love to have you over on the website where I have hundreds of lessons for mandolin, banjo, and guitar for all my Gold Pick members. Let's go.